What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another terrifyingly terrific, amazing, terrible trombone Tyrannosaurus channel. Hope you guys have been well. I actually did not practice that intro. Anyways, without further ado, let's get started with today's story. Cathy was always someone who overthought things. Out of all of her friends, she was the one who worried about their problems the most. Whether it was about studying for an upcoming exam or boy problems, she would always do her best to be a support beacon to her friends and help them out as much as she could. Alright, so we got little Cathy, helpful Cathy, that's what we're gonna call her. I think we all have had a friend like that in our friend group that just tries to help everyone out and is always the concerned one. Alright, so far, hashtag relatable. Cathy was also quite a smart student. She excelled in her classes, was pretty good at sports, and was even on the lacrosse team. Her life was pretty normal, until one day, the Fire Nation struck back. Alright, fine, it doesn't say Fire Nation, you got me. You know how many until one days I've done in stories and you guys always write in the comments, Fire Nation, or something like that? Anyways, back to the story. Until one day, while she was walking to her car after school, she heard some music. She looked over to where the music was coming from. It was from another girl's car. She was playing a tune unlike anything Cathy had heard before. She could hear English words in the song, but also a lot of unknown words. And then she realized that this song was K-pop. Oh boy, well, we all know where this is going. Once you gym in, you can't gym out. Know what I'm saying? Okay, but for real, guys, okay. It's a real phenomenon, okay? You start to enjoy K-pop, then you get sucked down the K-pop rabbit hole. It's just facts. Even though it was a little awkward for her, Cathy was intrigued by the music and approached the other girl's car. When she came over, the girl immediately turned the music down, perhaps a bit worried she was being too loud. But Cathy assured her that it was no big deal and explained that she really liked the song. It was her first time hearing K-pop. Cathy had only heard about the famous musical genre, but she never actually listened to the music. She had heard stories of how powerful the fandoms of these artists can be, how defensive and also toxic some of them are. And that's why when she thought of K-pop, it almost scared her. But when the girl asked if she wanted to listen to more, Cathy couldn't help but answer, "Yes, I'm Lena," the girl said. Cathy introduced herself, and the two immediately became friends. That day, Cathy listened to dozens of songs from a wide variety of K-pop groups, and for the first time, she found herself heavily invested in something other than school or sports. It starts. Guys, she has dipped her foot into the K-pop rabbit hole. She is Alice in K-pop land, falling down the hole into Neverland. I just hope she said goodbye to her friends and family and her life. Over the next few weeks, Cathy immersed herself in K-pop, listening to as many songs as she could, and even standing a particular boy group to be her favorite, with her own bias picked out as well. Oh, well. Due to how much time she was investing in K-pop, and moreover her new favorite boy band, she began spending less time with her friends, and found herself becoming more withdrawn in school and sports. Yep, it has started. I mean, this is nothing out of the ordinary, right? We've all been here, we've all been there. Pretty much anybody, once you start to get into K-pop a little bit, you always listen to a bunch of K-pop bands, you find your own bias, you find your own group. But then again, I can also see the flip side where, some people can get a little bit too self-obsessed or self-absorbed. And, it can sometimes be a little bit unhealthy with how much time some fans spend being professional fans, Despite making a few new friends through Lena who all share a love for K-pop, Cathy began to really neglect her regular friend group, and their friendship began to fall apart with it. During lacrosse practice, Cathy found herself zoning out and not paying attention, which got her in trouble with the coach and put her on his bad side. Oh my gosh, Cathy, my girl, you need to focus, okay? Focus. But to make things worse, Cathy became obsessive over her bias in the boy group. She began to stalk him on all social medias, making sure to have all of his notifications turned on. She spent any money she made buying his music and putting his posters all over her room. She thought about him all day and dreamt about him all night. Okay. Alright, Cathy, my girl, cool it, okay? Keep your pants on. Calm thyself. I'm sure we've all been here. Well, maybe not all of us. But I'm sure you guys can still relate, right? I mean, she's still in the K-pop rabbit hole, we can't blame her. Cathy soon found herself spending all her time and energy supporting her idol, and it wasn't long before it became unhealthy. One day, Cathy decided to take it one step further. Oh boy, please no tattoos, okay? We've had enough of those on Twitter. On the very off chance that he would even see it, Cathy took her time and wrote her idol a long message professing her love and admiration for him. Cathy even took the time to draw fan art of him, something she was a bit embarrassed of because she never really drew before. She spent more time perfecting her long message than she did on her school essays. She promised herself that she wouldn't send it until it was perfect. And then, finally, it was. With a deep breath, she hit send. And then she waited, and waited, and waited, and waited. It took about a week, and she constantly checked her DMs every day until she opened them up one day and saw her message had been read. All right, well, yo, homegirl's making moves. I didn't think it was possible. I mean, we've all DM'd celebrities before, and how often do they respond? I mean, I'm not saying I'm a celebrity, but, you know, you guys DM me all the time, and, you know, sometimes, occasionally, I read through my Insta DMs and I respond to you guys because you say something nice. Cathy was ecstatic. She thought this finally might be her chance. She began jumping up and down with joy at the thought of getting a response from her idol, and what might happen after. But it was here that Cathy's dream was crushed. Her idol had in fact read her message, but she never got a response. Oh, sad times, but hashtag realistic though. Yeah, I mean, sometimes people read your messages, they leave you on read, and then that's it. Sorry about that, guys. My neighbor was walking in the hallway and Max was barking at them, which he always does. Max is literally like a small, furry, portable alarm system, okay? Seriously, anybody steps foot in the hallway near my doorway, like, you see these ears? You see how high up they are? They are listening, okay? He is one of those things. He detects, okay? He detects the soul, the presence, the mere essence of people. Who's a good boy? Yes, you are. Cathy continued waiting for weeks for a response, sometimes sending small follow-up messages to even urge her idol to respond. But those messages didn't even get read, and Cathy began to soon realize how unrealistic her expectations were. Eventually, Cathy told her friends about what happened and apologized for neglecting them so much. She began focusing on her schoolwork and sports once again. But more importantly, Cathy still enjoyed listening to her idol's music and other K-pop songs, but she now did so in a newfound way. It's a dangerous path, becoming too obsessed with your idol, and Cathy now understood it should be more of an admiration for their work rather than treating them as a romantic interest. And that is the end of the story. Did you enjoy the story, my portable little alarm system? Alright, anyways, to talk about the story, I can understand Cathy's situation. Like I said at the beginning, we've all fallen down the K-pop rabbit hole, and, you know, once you get absorbed and involved into it, you know, it's kind of hard to, you know, step back out again. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys think. Personally, you know, I think it's great to appreciate your idol and support them, but I think there is a point where we should draw a line of where to, you know, like maybe step back a little bit. Like, some people literally spend all their money and any money they get, like purchasing albums and posters and, you know, art and anything they can to support the idol groups. And, you know, it's fine if you have the money to spare, but if you don't, then, and you're like in financial need, then it's really silly and foolish to spend your savings, your needed financial income on things that actually are unnecessary to you. I'm just being realistic here. Like, you know, people in K-pop groups, they're not gonna know that you spent all your life savings just to support them. You know, they're never gonna know that unless you attend one of their meet and greets and you tell them that in person. And then, of course, they'll thank you for it. But, you know, there are other things you can do to be supportive and to get a thank you from them and to get their appreciation towards you. You don't have to put yourself in a really bad financial position or just emotional position or any position. You don't have to put yourself in that position just for the appreciation of your idol that you may never even attain. So all I'm saying is that I'm all for supporting your bias and, you know, the groups that you like, but please be careful and please be conscious and please remain realistic. I think is the most important thing you guys can do, because some of you guys are a little cuckoo. Not all of you guys, because, you know, I'm not cuckoo, but some of you guys are, okay? Seriously, calm thyself. Anyways, yeah, I think you guys get my point. I'm not trying to bash on anyone. It's totally fine to support your groups, okay? Go support them. I'm just saying, don't put yourself in an unneeded, hard, and difficult position, okay? Just for something that, you know, is probably not gonna happen. Okay, you gotta remain realistic. You can enjoy something while being realistic at the same time, okay? It's possible, and I recommend it. All right, well, see you guys later.